Well, they're about to. She's not told me we're live yet.
She's supposed to again.
Eh. Hello, Mrs. Bubbles. Can you hear me? Tara's not told me that we're live, but I'll assume we are. Bill Riles and Tara Mendocino, Ace Point Backgammon, broadcasting from the top of the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. 2023 Oasis Tournament Cup Championship. This is their intermediate final. Shahriyar Behravan, Seyed, Hamid, Reza are the two finalists. The Mr. Behravan at the top, playing the black checkers on the left of the screen. He has only one loss. Mr. Reza on the right of the player cam has two losses. So were he to win the first match, then we would have to have a second match. If Behravan wins the first match, then he's the champion and it's over. Both of these gentlemen are from Iran. I don't know them. I was able to speak briefly before we started here a moment ago with Mr. Behravan and a friend of his. Behravan is apparently almost an international chess champion of sorts from Iran, and is playing backgammon. So anyway, I'm going to try to stay on top here. We've started going. First match going. Here's a cube from Shahriyar, and I apologize if the pronunciations are incorrect. But he has a pretty good structure. The Seyed, again, apologize for the pronunciation. Lets that go. So we're 1-0. Shahriyar. Okay, so let's settle in here, see if we can get going. 6-1. The obvious making the bar. 4-5. He'll step up and down, I suspect, and he does. 2-1. Probably make the 5 point. Nice. Slots it. Hits slotting and stepping up. Keeps his 3' structure there. 5-4. Nice advanced anchor. 4-2. He'll step up. Now, one thing I suspect that we'll see with these two gentlemen is, and I don't know this at all, I'm only conjecturing, I expect to see some play with pace. Many of the Middle Eastern players grew up playing backgammon. They grow up. They don't play the international game typically in some of these countries, so they don't use a cube. It's just a fast-paced, really fast-paced game, and many of them maintain that tendency. Of course, a number of them have they've learned the cube. There's some great international players in Iran, and that's one thing that we hoped to do with this tournament and our coverage of this tournament was to introduce a number of these players to the global community. Okay, Reza, Mr. Reza, has escaped with both his checkers, has a fairly substantial pip count lead. What's he got? 70. He took it before I could finish counting, but Mr. Behravan takes that. 3-2. I play 2 down personally, but let's see what he does. 2 down it is. has a number of builders activated on the toward the bar. Are the 5. 3, 2. Okay, he's going to slot the 4. He's going to try to construct a board as quickly as he can in the anticipation that he may get a shot here. Set of aces is extremely nice roll. Now he has options. He could make the 5 point. He could make the bar point. He'll opt for the 5. Still leaves him considerable ammunition working on his bar point. Okay, so he'll make the 4, slot the 5. Okay. And we would like to, and I'll digress a little bit while this game progresses, thank Patrick Jabelli as the organizer director and his sponsors for just an incredible event here in Dubai. First really major tournament. And, I think everyone in attendance has just had a great time and been really impressed with the effort and dedication and enthusiasm that Patrick and his team have demonstrated. I'd also like to thank Backgammon Galaxy, and we're streaming on their widely subscribed channel. I think they have like 20,000 subscribers. So thanks to Mark Olson and his team for giving us the opportunity to utilize that channel to bring this coverage to as many people as possible. Now, as many of you know, it's I like to conduct kind of a interactive commentary process here. So I do have the chat line in front of me. I can read it. It's a little bit cramped quarters in the general manager of Atmosphere's office here, but so I'll be looking back and forth a bit more than usual. I have a monitor. Perhaps y'all can see it immediately in front of me. That's the live stream. I have a laptop in front of me where I can look at the glance over at the chat line on occasion, and I'll try to respond to your questions, comments, critiques, suggestions, whatever, as I can and as appropriate. And this is just such a treat, I think, in a number of respects for the finalists in both the intermediate division that we're watching now and the finalists in the Masters division, which we'll see next, to have just an incredible opportunity to play high, not at the very top, but high atop the Burj Khalifa, iconic structure, the tallest building in the world. It's kind of dusky here and a lot of light behind me, so you probably can't see it, but as you perhaps noticed, there's as there was during the tournament, and Myco, which is a local affiliate of Patrick's company's group, is a live streaming platform. They do a lot of photojournalism, photography, what have you, and they had like 18 people at the tournament, and they've got 3 people here. So this will be a well-covered event in that regard. It's not a very big space, but we only have Patrick is here, the 4 players, and I think each one of them apparently brought like a second of their choice, be it a friend or whomever. Anders Nylander, one of the championships finalists, his wife is here. So you know, it's a very small group. Justin Knoll is here with Tara and myself. Justin will be doing the live transcription on the championship matches. Okay, so he should be able to bring this home. Very limited potential of a gammon. He's going to try to enhance that potential by maybe hitting and bearing off. So if Behravan, and I'm going to use their last names, I don't want to be disrespectful in any way. If Behravan were to dance a time or two, which he did not, then he would have faced some jeopardy of being gammon. But he entered right away. Now he's chasing a lost dice. Okay. So this is going to be, in every probability, a 2-point single game. It is, and Mr. Reza takes a 2-1 lead. No second stream today. Just it was quite the exercise to break everything down. Last night we stayed up to about 3 a.m. and then started again at about 8 this morning, pulling all the cable and everything to then take it all up to our room, divide it up as to what we needed, for this location as opposed to the tournament location. And there really isn't enough space to do but the one stream. To try to play two, they'd be right on top of each other. So these are relatively short matches, so hopefully they'll proceed fairly quickly. In the championship division, each of the players have 2 losses, so there's the absolute final will be the match that they play. Kind of worked out advantageous to the tournament and everyone else in that regard, in that we ended up with 4 players with 2 losses apiece. So then it became like a 4-player knockout for the championship. They had dropped a die, so they paused the clock, and then maybe weren't quite certain how to restart it after the pause when they retrieved the die. But all is well. Well, he might want to, and he can't clean it up totally. So he just he leaves the 2 blots in his outfield, which Behravan or Reza will have to break his mid to hit, but he doesn't have the opportunity to hit. Behravan went ahead and secured his midpoint and has a 4-point prime over there, with Reza with 3 behind it. So what he opts not to hit. He just plays on. 4-2, he can safety these checkers. Three, 1 slot, make the 5. He would 6-5. Again, he's going to play safe. Reza's got a pretty nice board over here. Doesn't want to chance being hit. Now he can be interesting to see how he decides to play this. He's going to make the 3, or he's considering making the 3. He could run clear from the 22, but he stays back. Mr. Behravan, with a pretty good racing lead and a good structure, decides that he'll force Mr. Reza to pay to see the next roll, and Mr. Reza says that's okay. I'll I'll keep the money in my pocket. So 2-2. We have a 5-point match. Okay, nice opening 4-2 for Behravan. Makes the 4-point, as is the standard play. There's a nice 6-1 reply, so he takes the bar point. As y'all might have noticed, we're playing with, here at this tournament, time settings, 1.5, effectively 1.5 points, or 1.5 minutes per point for the bank and 12-second delay. So 7-point match, 1.5 is 10.5, and they rounded up to the nearest minute. So they started with 11 minutes apiece. So it's a little bit faster time settings than perhaps the traditional 2 and 12, but that is it's kind of requisite with this Swiss format, particularly in the championship division, to move the matches along at a little bit more brisk pace and be able to complete, stay on schedule. Okay, he's got a nice 4-point prime there, but not too much structure behind it. He's heavy on the 6. I would personally think this is probably a take. I'm taking it. And let's see what he does. He's got a bit of a racing edge, not terribly significant. He does take it. And let's see if Mr. Reza can capitalize. Again, he's got a bit of inflexibility with, with not much diversification with the checkers outside of the prime. And all his pairs are on the 6-point. So 6-3 is going to force him to leave a shot somewhere. So let's see what happens. And that's least shots, I believe. He could, if he does that, he's going to run all the way. So then he's vulnerable to 6s and 3s. But he maintains his midpoint, 6-2. Now, he could hit. He could also come out and make that point. But opts for the hit. 4-3. Now he'd probably step up, but which one does he wish to step up with? He goes to the 18. Again, doesn't want to break that priming structure. Obviously, doesn't want to give up his midpoint. So six-three. He's going to play it safe. I thought at some point here he might step up against the edge of that, the leading edge of that prime structure, try to escape. Alex is shaking, apparently transcribing or at least putting in specific positions. So we certainly appreciate that effort, Alex, and your contributions to this this stream. 5-4. That now. He's going to slide on that front. With the anchors, not as much danger as it might be otherwise. Ace-5 is a good play. Comes in on the ace, but it's makes Reza's play that much better. Now he's a favorite to, remake the 4 prime or even a 5 prime, but the dice don't cooperate, so he'll go with the 3-point. Still heavy on that 6-point. Is that aces? So be interesting. And make the bar, make the deuce. He could have thought about maybe sliding to the ace and stepping up again to the leading edge of that prime to pick it up. Of course, he would have paid a dear price for it because he would have been pointed on the deuce. But nice roll. 3-2. Okay, he's just going to make his 5 point. 3-2 the other way. Now, he could bring 2 down, leaving only a 3-6 hit. A6 it is. So he plays it to the 6 point. No way to really generate another builder to work on the 3 with that 6-1. 5-4. Probably he could put go to the 5 and a 7 here, I suspect. I'll even give Alex another shout out while he's while I'm talking about him here. His new book is out on, and he'll have to remind me of the specific title, but it's on Backgammon, and I've not yet acquired it or seen anything, but I've heard a lot of great things about it, and I know a number of people have anticipated it for a long time. So congratulations, Alex, and thanks for that contribution to the backgammon community as well. Backgammon strategies. Thank you. Thank you, Alex. Okay, so he hits that checker. Now this is, well, the ace 4 is he's going to have to come in on the ace and hit. He pauses in contemplation for a moment. He just too many pointing numbers otherwise. Oh, he's not going to hit. I'm a bit surprised by that because he's an easy target, and I just okay. He's going to go ahead and safety. I would have definitely hit that checker on the 9 point, but he chose not to. Three, 2 makes the 4 points. Now he has a 6 point prime. He'll start attacking on the front of it, perhaps, and go fishing for a second checker. But Behravan has made such a good board that might be disadvantageous at this stage now. So he'll just try to bring it home without taking the chance of getting hit himself and getting trapped behind that 5 point board up there. So he hopes to just bring it home. I kind of, well, that one makes double 4s play. The other one would have made deuces play in a pointing nature. Five, 3. Now, this is interesting. Okay, he chooses not to hit, which is probably wise. Chooses not to break his 7 point, which is probably wise as well. But there are some bad numbers in the cup, but there's also some very good numbers. Okay, but a 6 and the race is on, but he doesn't get it. So now, Reza is in pretty good shape. He's still got some bad numbers, but and there's one of the bad numbers. So obviously he's just going to make the ace and take 2 off the 5. Can't take 3 off and leave 2 blots. So that's the only reasonable play. Looking for a 5, gets a 5. So now, without an ace, ooh, speaking of aces, and a good one, ace 6. He was staring at Behravan, sending him 4 cube that he would have had to drop, and he sends a 4 cube anyway. This is rather optimistic, I think. Wow. Sure, Reza's got to, if Behravan comes in, Reza's still got to navigate this, expanse, but he could well dance for a roll or two, and this could get painful. Oh, he realizes, look at the camera, he realizes that he perhaps inadvertently doubled from the bar. So, kind of hits the clock and resignation. Okay, brings the 9 on around. Now, unless he gets lucky with a 6-3 or 5-4. 5-1. And it's interesting. He might have stayed on the 5. Didn't matter, as it turns out. But didn't he play 4-4? Nonetheless, obvious. I mean, it looked like a very poor recube, and it doubtlessly was. And then when he realized he had done it with a checker in the air, you could tell that he, Jesus, what kind of brain freeze was that? So, fortunately, from his perspective, he's got a life to play with here, because he might need it. Again, they had both in the championship division and in the they call it, I said championship. I'm used to the kind of the American term in that regard. They call it the Masters here and in Europe. In the Masters division and in the intermediate division, where these guys are playing from, there was a huge Iranian contingent, that's great. It's great to see, the people in Iran, for whatever political and financial reasons, don't have the opportunity to travel that much to a lot of international tournaments. So it was great to see a lot of the Iranian players here, the ones that I met and visited with, all just great people, and really enjoyed visiting with them. And so that was great. I don't know how many Iranians ultimately came. I know Patrick had said he had like 80 plus who had expressed an intent that they were coming, but I don't know what the ultimate number was. But that's neat. That's really neat. There was a tremendous diversity of ethnicities, I guess, religions, national origins, what have you, at this tournament. But it was just a community backgammon joy fest of some sort. I don't know what the right term would be, but everybody enjoyed it. Okay, so now Crawford game for Mr. Reza. 5-1. Behravan going to have to try to recover. And this is one of those things, I mean, we all have oversights. We all have brain freezes on occasion. And you just, you got to accept it and move on and put it out of your mind and play the next game or play the next move. Only 11-20, Alex, but that's exactly right. He didn't realize. And when he, on the next roll, when he started to play inside his board, and the guy says, no, you have one on the bar, you could just see him kind of slap his forehead like, oh my God, what have I done? And so it happens. Fortunately, like we say, for him, I mean, this game, they haven't moved the cube back to the center. If Tara's listening on the headphones, you might there, but he saw it, and I don't know if he just happened to notice it or if Tara reacted when I said something. But anyway, they corrected it and put it in the center. And of course, it's a Crawford game anyway, so it couldn't be, on 4. But anyway, and it's interesting, and I don't know these guys. Had never met either one of them before, immediately before this match started. So I don't know how much they might be intimidated by playing on the stream, playing in a final, playing on the top of the Burj Khalifa. And on the stream with the camera, with whomever watching, ultimately their friends and family and everybody else. So who knows? Some people, that doesn't bother them. Other people, it kind of freaks them out. So listen, Irene. Thank you, Irene. The sun's going down behind me there, so we're losing a lot of that light and glare off the windows. I'm sitting in the the atmosphere is on the 122nd floor of the Burj Khalifa. It's a restaurant and lounge. We're in the lounge half of it, I guess you would say. And within that, they have, in the main dining rooms of restaurants or the main bar of lounges and what have you, you can't smoke, much as in much of the world. But they do provide a smoking room adjacent. And I guess, here, when you're on the 122nd floor, you can't just step outside on the sidewalk and take a smoke. So there's a smoking room next to the main lounge area. And that's where we're playing. And it doesn't reek of smoke or anything like that. It's not a small area. It's very, as you can see on the player cam there, it's a very attractive, comfortable space, and it's really neat. I mean, how many people have the opportunity? And I know Tara and myself and Justin Knoll, we're all terribly excited with the potential of, terribly excited by the potential of getting to play here. Of them getting to play here and us getting to be here. So anyway, quite an environment, quite an experience. So and I was going to say, I'm in the Atmosphere's general manager's office, which is adjacent to this smoking room, and as out the door there's a hallway back through the kitchen and service areas of the restaurant and lounge. But wow, what an opportunity. It's a really neat experience. Okay, so Reza's got a very nice structure, but he's also got two checkers trapped back there, so he needs to get something moving if he can. He's got a bit of time. There's a 6-5. He's just got to play in. So Behravan's in a stronger position, but Reza's got a little bit of timing left in his cups there. So let's see what happens. Oh, 5-4. Now he's trying to save his sixes. Double threes is pretty nice. He can make he's taking 3 off. He could have made the 2 point and eliminated any gaps He's 5 away, so the difference in the G's not that terribly important. Takes away a free drop, but we can see that it cost him a shot. And, and again, I don't know. These guys know their skill levels or experience levels or whatever, but, if he gets hit here, and he does, of course, Reza can't cover it. But, in review and reflection on this, he'll perhaps realize that he might have taken a little bit more time and considered playing that double 3 differently. But, serious burns on an erroneous play or a misplay or whatever, and he rolls a deuce, but the 3's not going to be too attractive either, although he gets 2 in the air. But hard lessons are lessons remembered for a long time, oftentimes. Okay, so no, yeah, there's no well, now he's going to double switch on him, probably. One of the hazards, but I think his play was likely correct. Wow. It looks like they turned the lights on in the room or something over there. 6-5. So he might get that G anyway, although he's got a little bit of an awkward structure still yet. Shot time. Set of 5s. Come on around. Only has to burn 1 pip to make that play. Okay, now he's just got to worry about getting BG'd. Now, BGs do matter. G's didn't really matter. BGs matter big. Gets away with that. That's like in, I don't know, I heard it related to Art Benjamin, but the rule of 8 or something like that. If your opponent's down to 8 checkers, whereby he can get off in 2 sets of doubles, and you have 2 back, you need to be leaving with one of them. Okay, now this is post Crawford, so Mr. Behravan needs to remember that and act accordingly, and he's not. I don't think 6-1, that's kind of ugly. I think there's really any necessarily game to be played here. Now it's post Crawford, so he's going to try to make a jailbreak here. 6-1 gets hit. Just going to have to come down from the mid, probably. If he gets hit, Behravan has a blot in his home board. So once again, he makes a run for it. Now, A6, there he goes. Now he's just going to have to, hopefully, I don't know. You gotta be building a board here at some point. So it might have been time to unstack that 6 point and make the 3 point, but let's see what happens. Okay, now. Whoa, no, is he that far ahead? Okay, set of deuces, and he's just content on racing and running and not building any kind of structure. And maybe I haven't counted, and I guess he is that far ahead. But again, he might. He had that one kind of brain freeze a little bit earlier on that recube on the previous game. He might be slapping himself on the forehead again if he realizes he didn't send this cube post Crawford. Well, now that we see the way he's played this thing, he's that's a nice shake, but he's really a bit behind in the pip count. Whoa, that's curtains, but he didn't play for any containment or potential to hit that if Reza had to break off the 18 over there, and the end result was he had 10 or 12 checkers on the 6 point, and Reza was able to take advantage of a much better distribution. So it looks like we're very possibly, slap my face. I was going to say, looked like we were heading to a second game, and we still yet might be. Boom. No, we're going to continue this game. Wow, such are the vagaries of backgammon. Looks like, and again, looks like it still has never dawned on him that he didn't send that cube, and even when he scored it, didn't look like he realized it. So maybe he will now at 2 away. It's interesting, Jedi Master, and I'm not even sure who that is. If you want to identify yourself, I'd appreciate it. But we had several matches during the week that had those kinds of sequences of 3 or 4 rolls, just joker back and forth. I know Sebastian Wilkinson and Daniel Tedosi's match ended like that yesterday morning, and then yesterday. In round 8 or something like that, Stefan Nunez beat Shy Ashraf at DMP with Ashraf had 3 checkers left, and Stefan had 8 and rolled 2 sets and stole the match. Well, I probably shouldn't interject a scream of doubling across through the wall here, but again, I was really surprised that it didn't strike him, shall we say, at least when he won that game and scored it, but apparently not. Charges on with the cube in the middle. Well, that's exactly right, Alex, and I'd referred to that earlier. They, Iran, the traditional national game that they play, and I don't know exactly what they call it in Iran, in Greece and Turkey and places like that, it's Tavli or Tavla or whatever. but they don't use the doubling cube, and it's kind of a late addition to their repertoire as they attempt to join the international backgammon scene. And perhaps they're just, I don't know how long these guys have been playing or anything, in this, in a tournament type environment. And perhaps he just is so unaccustomed or unfamiliar with it that he just doesn't, it's not as natural to him, let's say, as it might be to many of us in this situation. Well, it's interesting because it's allowing Reza to play a little bit, I don't know, more freely than he would were two cubes sitting there on his side of the table. So he's always, sitting there in effect with however this game progresses, of almost holding a free drop in his pocket the entire length of the game. And Behravan is having to play for a natural gammon here, so it's kind of it's an interesting turn in the game, in the match execution. And maybe you're right, Divad, or I apologize if I mispronounced that, but again, if he is not terribly experienced in the tournament environment and what have you, maybe he thinks Crawford applies throughout. Who knows? I'll perhaps I'll have the opportunity to ask him. He speaks reasonable English, it seemed, and he has a friend who is here with him that speaks good English. And I shouldn't probably just say good English. I should say fluent English. His friend speaks. So, yeah, Jeff, wouldn't that be something? He wins the natural G, and okay, and maybe that opens up a little bit because he just he has to leave that lot there, and this guy has the opportunity to attack it. Now he can hit and go onto the ace point and put him in the air. Oh man, he's not gonna play for the G. So anyway, it's easy to be a bench jockey here, and I mean, there he did have some awareness of the cube. There it is, and like I said, with it going like that, Reza in effect had a free drop in his pocket the entire game. Okay, so here we are. DMP. Nope, we're not going to see a cube in this game either. And so now this will either be the last game of the intermediate tournament or the last game of the penultimate match of the intermediate tournament. So let's see who prevails here. Wow, set of fours. That plays nicely. I'm stepping up and then making the 9 point. Gotta be. Do 6. There you go. Yeah, we've all done it. TG win, either forgetting it entirely or forgetting the score or what have you. And been there, done that. It's interesting because, and I see it just, and he's a little bit out of the camera, but just kind of looking at it from his body language that, maybe he's never gotten over that recube 3 or 4 games ago. It still just kind of blew his mojo, cost him his focus. But that's the thing, be it, just an oversight blunder like he made, or, piece of bad luck, or what have you. You got to quickly learn in backgammon. You just got to let it go. And, you can't change the past. You can change or attempt to change the future. And, you just got to take the emotion out of it and learn to let it go. And he's, and I don't know that he is. It just strikes me that it seems he's, he's still got that on his mind a bit. And it's interesting, and it's good. We got well over 300 people watching this match. You can see the brackets and leaderboards and this, that, and the other at FTbgsystem.com. FTbgsystem.com. So, and the first thing that comes up, some I don't know, ads for some Cyprus tournaments and so forth. But if you scroll down a little bit, you'll come to the links to the various Dubai tournament events. Absolutely, Alex. And that's, be it that lesson or many other lessons in backgammon, risk reward analyses and evaluations, controlling one's emotions, letting go of, misfortune or bad whatever. Backgammon's a lot like life, and there you go. Yeah, and as Taran points out there, and I keep forgetting to say it, below the YouTube frame there's a description with all the links as well. So anyway, Mr. Oh, it's great with the mirror on the far wall too, so you can see what's going on. There's Patrick Jabelli in the black shirt, looking at one of the computers there. Justin in the jacket. He'll be doing the commentary later on. So, like Patrick's explaining something to someone. I don't know. Now there's a gentleman, and I don't know him, in the white T-shirt. He's a Russian gentleman, is one of the finalists in the championship division. There in the coat up on the little walkway above there, that's Mr. Manuel. He is the general manager of Atmosphere. And you see the guys in the red shirts walking around are the photography people from Myco. And man, what a job Myco did throughout this tournament. They had a staff of about 18 at the tournament every day of the tournament. You know, and there's a lot of videography. Sure, come on in. A lot of videography and still photography, interviews, what have you. And as you might have seen in our private streaming room, the player cams would be looking across the playing room, and on the other side, the wall opposite where we were at, they had 6, I guess you would call them content editors over there. So as all of these videos and interviews and what have you were being shot, I guess it was wirelessly connected to all of these live editors in the it's a streaming room there. It was just an amazing operation. And if you go to Skillz Facebook page, MindSkilz, their Facebook page, they put up kind of a summary, I don't know what we want to call it, a video each day that was kind of I'm drawing a blank for the word I'm looking for, but a compilation of a lot of shortcuts of, you know, various shots and videos from videos, interviews, this, that, and the other that had gone on, and those are just very professionally done. They're really fun to watch. So you need to go. Montage is what I was one of the words I was looking for, Alex. So thank you there. You know, that's talking about backgammon is like life, and it is in so many ways. In fact, fun little movie that came out about 15 years ago. The Bulgarian movie, and backgammon was used as a plot mechanism within the movie. And the name of the movie was something like The World is Flat and Salvation Lurks Around the Corner, or something similar to that, crazy like that. And it was really a neat movie. And if you get a chance, you gotta, I don't know if it's on Netflix or otherwise available, but check it out. It's kind of fun. So anyway, Mochi did not reach the final. The 2 championship finalists, and my phone is just about out of juice here, but let me review these names. Well, one of them is Anders Nederland from Denmark, is one of the Masters finalists, and the Anders Nylander from Denmark. Nice guy, speaks great English. I've visited with him and his wife a fair amount over the last couple of days. He's a former champion of the Nordic Open, former champion of the Swedish Open. And the other championship finalists, and I'll doubtlessly butcher this name, but Eirat Fatikov. And that's the guy sitting on the couch, the sofa on the right there, in the t-shirt. And I think the gentleman with him is, you know, a friend of some sort. They each brought like a second with them. Nylander brought his wife. Fatikov brought this guy, who I'm not sure who he is. So anyway, it's such a beautiful little room there, and I didn't realize that it was there, but that glass or mirrored wall on the other side, giving you a reflection of the entire room and what's going on behind the camera there and so forth. It's really neat. You can see what a beautiful place it is, and we'd really like to. And Mr. Manuel is sitting here behind me in his office now, and I'd like to express on behalf of the entire tournament team and so forth our appreciation for your hospitality in making this venue available to us. Yeah, I know it's the second match.
So I was like getting ready for the match.
I didn't really notice, but I knew there was a second match, and I had informed everybody of the second match, and we're all cool.
I hope you told them why we were late.
I didn't tell them why we were late, but Tara had her head in the door here. She said, "I hope you told them why we were late starting." We what was kind of a, I don't know, multifaceted aspect to that. Tara and I, with all of our equipment, had a little bit of trouble getting, and we were pre-approved and been given pre-clearance and all this kind of stuff, but still yet we had some difficulty. It took us about an hour to get into the building and up to the atmosphere. So we got about an hour later start and setting everything up than we had anticipated. We were hoping to start at 5. And then, of course, but and I don't know if it was due to traffic or what the problems was, but Patrick and all of the players, there he has Mr. Fatikov waving at, sure, maybe some of his friends and family are watching, so he's giving a shout out to everybody. But Patrick and the players arrived perhaps 30 minutes later than they had intended, so that's why we were late. We apologize, but hopefully y'all are getting to see some beautiful streams here. Tara's production quality is just amazing, and amazing venue. And of course, these guys are, and everybody attended here, just incredible view. I can look back over my shoulder here, and we're on the 122nd floor, and it's dark now, and the city's lit up, and all the buildings are lit up, and it's just amazing. Well, that's great, Irene and TG Wynn and Tapio. Appreciate y'all's input in it, and it was by virtue of some, I don't know, some oversights, maybe some skill levels not developed as highly as a lot of championship level players. Perhaps, just a lack of experience and so forth. They were making some plays that, could in effect highlight some fundamentals in the game. It was perhaps, as who was it, TG Wynn or somebody said, they're perhaps more instructive in certain regards than some of the matches that have been streamed of more accomplished players. So that's great. I mean, we typically are broadcasting to a varied spectrum of people. And here, look at this. Reza is not wasting any time. He's got perhaps a racing advantage, but Behravan has the anchor. He's got a good 3-point board and developing structure in his home board. Reza's got kind of a little picket fence defense here with the 8 heavy. I think this is, from my perspective at least, I'd be taking it rather quickly. But, here it is. These guys are sitting the final match of a major tournament on the stream. People watching, they want to win. They don't want to make a mistake. He lets it go. It'll be, Alex is transcribing perhaps, and so Anyway, 1-0 Reza. So 6-5 by Behravan. Set of deuces will work, similar to his previous game. So, and it's interesting. And who knows? I mean, again, I'm not familiar with these players, and they're not as experienced as some of the players that we're more familiar with. And man, he's come to play backgammon. He's not wasting any time. So, it just seems as though he sat back down with this aggressive game plan in mind, and he's going to go for the gusto. He's going to put the pressure on Behravan, and let's see what happens. But I was going to say that. Oh, now I lose my train of thought for a second. But some of the more experienced players certainly will, at time, gain some appreciation for the psychology or philosophy of their opponents and how they play and when they're going to drop, when they're going to take this, that, and the other, and take reads from players and so forth. I don't think that maybe occurs as much in the intermediate division, but perhaps we're seeing a little bit of it here, and that's 2 in a row that. Hey, Joe Urso's in the house. Yeah, that's 2 in a row there that I thought were relatively simple takes and probably were too early doubles, and he let them both go. So again, I don't know if it's who knows? It's could be the environment. It's just and now he gets again he extricates the 2 back checkers. So now Behravan's going to get the advanced anchor, but Reza might be whipping it out of his pocket here and throwing the cube at him again pretty quickly. He's got a pretty substantial racing advantage, perhaps. There it comes. I mean, he came to play, and like he got afraid he's going to miss his plane or something too. But okay, Joe Urso, my man, Eric Peterson, probably in his room. Well, he takes this one, and as he should, I think. Eric Peterson's probably over at the Hyatt Regency in his room watching this. Or are you down in the playing room? They're supposed to be broadcasting this on some projection screens and so forth, Eric. Hopefully they are. And if you're in the playing room, you can confirm to me that they are doing that. Yeah, it might have been, he let those first 2 go, which were probably, maybe he just got tired of passing. I got to draw the line here somewhere. So, but this one was a take, as were the others, I think. And so anyway, game on. Absolutely, TG win. If he's going to keeps dropping takes, then keep sending them that much earlier. And I think that's what we saw. And again, and it's interesting to me watching, and again, it's probably their and Iranian culture and heritage, fast play, this, that, and the other. So they're snapping up those dice before the other guy hits the cube oftentimes, which is not what should happen, and would draw a rebuke from many players, but they both seem to be comfortable with it. Oh, so man, these guys, they might be trying to make the same flight home to Iran. So here we go. And if you touch it, it's a double. I don't know if you funnel it, if it's a take, but he does take it. It's not, by the way. It's okay. So here we go. We might be looking at another short match, but ooh, look at this set of fives. Counted up. He's probably well ahead. So just the way I like to do, send a nice optimistic recube and then roll a set of fives right afterwards. Well, certainly Devon or whatever. I've seen the game in the, Turkey, Greece, wherever, played extremely rapidly, but these guys are playing with pace. I don't think you'll see, see as much speed in the Masters final coming up next. Certainly, I think Nylander will be much more deliberate. I'm not sure of Fatikov. Haven't really watched him play. Yeah, huge no double and humongous take in that second game. So it might be good. Somebody was suggesting earlier, I forget who it was, that maybe we should have been having an XG feed on the intermediate final as well, and I don't know that would have been necessarily fair to these guys. XG's, it's not the holy grail. It's an indicator, indicative of play, but a single match and certainly a single game is a very small sample size, and you can get some radically good or bad numbers sometimes. So here we go again. Man. This wow. Pardon me, I'm just at a loss for words here. Okay, here we go. Nickels. Re-roll it. 5-3. And now at 4-way, 3-way, Mr. Reza might try to capitalize on Behravan's tendency to drop and or tendency to get tired of dropping and taking, and Reza's at 4-way, so he may give him another early one to chew on. I like that reply, Tapio. That's good. Okay, here we go. 5-1. Not I don't know. You're outboarded. Do you want to hit that? Does unstack. What else should you do, though? He could, I don't know. I'm not familiar with the specific terminology, but he could hit 2. He could go out to the 16, which is probably what I do. It's at 1-4, so he's going to take the hit over there. 4-6. That's not exactly what Mr. Reza had in mind. So now he's playing with 4 blots. Gets one of them hit. He's playing pretty rapidly. He could have considered, oh, that's a shake. Man, double aces. Makes the, comes in and makes the 5-point and the 7-point. 6-5 is blocked. It's going to go to the deuce. Here we go, baby. Boom. Takes it. You know, and it's funny. It seems like, you know, he'll ponder and let them go sometimes when they seem to be superbly easy takes. And then when one that might be, not saying this wasn't a take, but one that might deserve a bit more contemplation, he snaps it up like a hot rock. So, okay, so, double dribble. So Reza trying to realize, nice shake there. And you can answer that phone call later, Mr. Reza. But nice roll by Behravan to forestall the blitz. He rolled 4-3 to bring them both in. So see what happens. Yeah, Jeff, that was my perception as well. So, that's, again, part of what makes Backgammon a great game. You have those sorts of occurrences. It's a dice game, so, you know, who knows what's happens with the dice on occasion. So it's just, now you might want to, well, you could do that. You could have made the 2-point, had a 5-point board, but we shall see. Now, think. You can take that 2-point again. Second time in a row, he will eschew the 2-point. I was telling Toby last night, we were laughing. I think it might have been Ray. I said, I always try to get in at least one good eschew about every other match or so. Now, he does take the 2-point this time. Okay. I must be, oh, there's a, so, Rosie O'Donnell might have entered the building. So, very possibly here, Seyed Hamid Reza has come from behind, having 2 losses going into the final, as opposed to Behravan's 1 loss. And unless things go terribly bad, although that's 6-2 now, he's got kind of an awkward structure, but very possibly, well, and there it is, going to have to clear the 3 or something. But definitely got the potential. There's a 4. Now he's just going to have to wait. Okay. Deuce 1. Pick and pass, huh? Try to just further ensure that gammon. Now y'all might notice the Mind Skillz logo, the atmosphere logo, and a rendering of the Burj Khalifa on the playing surface of these boards. So it's quite attractive, I think. And the cups, I don't know that we'll be able to notice it, but the dice cups have the that Burj Khalifa and atmosphere logo on them as well. So this is going to be curtains, folks. And Mr. Seyed Hamid Reza is going to be the intermediate champion of the Oasis 2023 International Cup. So congratulations to both gentlemen. Mr. Reza for winning, Mr. Behravan for being the finalist, and having gotten to the final with only one loss himself. So very good. Hey, Hannah DeRosier is in the house. Hey, Hannah, how are you doing? Okay, so that was exciting, and